Hi there, my name is Dominic, and today I'm going to be showing you some of the basic functions of ConnectMLS. ConnectMLS is one of two MLS platforms that you have access to as a Bridge MLS member. The other is Paragon, but today we're going to be covering ConnectMLS. All right, so the page that we are on currently is bridgemls.com. This is where we're going to start when we want to log in to ConnectMLS. You'll see in the top right corner here, we have a little ConnectMLS icon. You can click on that and it'll take you directly to a page where you'll enter in your login credentials. And then next door to that, you'll see MLS login. You can also log in there, and when you do so, it'll bring you to this page where you'll see an overview of the applications that you have access to as a Bridge MLS member. And you'd simply just want to click on Connect MLS to go to Connect MLS. If you choose the Connect MLS tab from the homepage, it'll take you directly into Connect MLS. All right, and so this is where it will take you. This is the homepage of Connect MLS. If your home screen looks a little bit different than mine, that is totally normal. You can actually customize exactly where and what shows on your Connect MLS homepage. You can do that if you go into the top right. You'll see either your photo or your initials in a little circle there. You'll click on that and you want to go down to settings. And here in settings, you'll see there is a whole host of different things that you can change, like your business card, which will be if someone clicks on your information, if you're involved with a listing, you can edit that there. You can change some other info as we can see down there. The business card is this little fella up here. But to edit our homepage, we'll just want to go down to modify homepage layout. We'll click on that and it'll take you to this page here where you can play around with the different widgets within your homepage. So these represent everything that was on my homepage there. You can also remove any of the widgets by clicking on the X in the corner of them. And then you'll see a little bank of widgets that you can add down here that aren't currently in there. And you can just click on the little plus there to add them to your um, homepage there. You can change the amount of rows with these selections up here if you want more or less rows. And then the only thing that you can't fully edit is the board messages section. Board messages are strictly going to be messages that are pertinent to pressing changes to either the MLS as a whole or Connect MLS. So we want to make sure that you always have access to that information. You can click and drag and change what column it's in, but you'll see it'll always float to the top and you can't actually get rid of it. This little button here does not do anything. And then once you have your little home page here as you would like it, just hit Save Changes and it will reload your home page. And then also you can even do some of this, you can reorder this on the home page itself. If you simply click and drag and drop, you can change where things are. All right, so something pretty notable here on our homepage is the Market Activity tab. Market Activity is meant to be like a snapshot of what's happening on the market. So for instance, right now we're going back a day. So this is everything here that's new, expired, or price change. Hot list you'll see there is meant to be listings that are receiving a lot of attention, a lot of agent and client views. So they qualify for that hot list there. So you can go all the way back to 7 days. So I'll hit 7, for instance, and refresh, and you'll see way more listings come up because it's going back a week. So these are meant to just give you a snapshot. You can click on any of these statuses and it will open up a actual spreadsheet of everything that is a part of that statistic. And you can even customize exactly what city you want to search through for your market activity. So let's just say that you want Oakland only, for instance. you would just click on Customize View, and then you can change the class and the city to whatever you would like. All right. And then something else that is not only going to be on the home page, but you will always see this on ConnectMLS, any page you're at, is the Smart Bar. The Smart Bar is like the Google search of the platform here. So you can enter in an MLS number and pull up an agent report for that MLS or for that listing immediately by entering that into the Smart Bar. You can enter in just an address and get anytime that address has been listed on the MLS from that Smart Bar. You can type in the letters OF for office and then the name of the office, and it'll pull up an agent roster for the office with people's business cards. That's the section that I showed you right here in settings that had the information. So you can get contact info for other agents there. Also, if you have a client added, you can simply type in their name here to pull up their client um, uh, page, and you can go in and look at their client portal and all sorts of stuff. So we'll get into how to add a client and all that stuff a little later here. But basically, if you can think of it, you can search it in that smart bar up there at the top. So something that's good to be aware of. All right. So the first thing I'm going to show you today is going to be how to conduct a search in ConnectMLS. So how we do that is we just click on, or we hover our mouse here on the little search icon, and you'll see general search. For today, we're going to be doing a general search, but you'll see beneath that there's street address, which is a little bit redundant with the smart bar because you can just type in a street address there. But if you want search only for a single street address, you can do that there. There's a map search as well that is built into the general search, and then MLS number if you want to search by that. But again, all these things are built into the general search. You have the open house and tour search where you can search through what is currently on tour or has an upcoming open house, as well as a tax search for public tax records. If you click on this, this will actually take you over to CRS tax, where you can search through tax records, public records there. All right. So for now, we're going to go and do a general residential search. As you can see, there's a bunch of different classes for you to choose from. Cross property down here means essentially multi-class. You can do as many classes as you would like. You can do even all of them if you would like at the same time in cross property. So here in our residential search, you'll see as this page comes up, we have a bunch of different fields here that we can search from. You can put in as much or as little information as you would like. By default, it will have the active status in here. But if you can click on that little bar, you'll see here a set of options for your status comes up. It defaults right now to all active statuses except for the coming soon status. You can click all active to get literally all of those, all pending to get all sorts of pending statuses. You can deselect them to remove that. You can select individual statuses here if you would like. And just so you know the difference between new and active while we're here, new is a listing that has been listed for 7 days or less. After that, it will by default be just an active listing. So that's the deletion, or the I said deletion because I saw deletion there. That is the difference between those two. All right, so I'm gonna search through all active statuses. City here, I'll just put in Berkeley as an example. We have down here a price range with a minimum and maximum. I'm gonna do 1.2 million here. And then for a minimum, if I just leave that off, there's absolutely no minimum. And same goes with the reverse. If I put in a minimum and I don't have a maximum, it will be minimum all the way to, infinity, as expensive as things can get. So you can select a range if you want to. So I can do that, or I can leave one off if I want one to go infinitely in the other direction. Same works with the bathroom and bedroom fields right here and the square footage. Anything that has a range, you can do a cap or a floor or a range. All right, something unique to Connect MLS when I scroll down here is our data source field. Data source field will allow you to pick and choose which MLSs you search through. So if for whatever reason you want to search through just some of the MLSs that you have data share with, you can remove some of them. So I can like X out some of these and you'll see them go away. And it may or may not remove some results depending on if I have results from those MLSs within my count here. I can also add any of them that I would like by clicking down here, and you'll see the list of available selectable MLSs pop up, and I can just put them all in if I want. I would say most of the time you'll want every single MLS in there just so that you have access to all the data that you can possibly get. But if for whatever reason you don't, you can always customize that. Speaking of customization, if there is a field that you would like in here that is not on here, you can do two things. You can click on advanced options down here, and that will add a couple more fields as you'll see in dark gray. And then also you can do add/remove fields. And when I click on add/remove fields, it'll bring up this window. On the left here are fields that I are not currently in my listing or my listing search that I can add by clicking on the plus, and fields that I can remove by clicking on the X that are currently in my search. So if I wanted to add age, like the age of the property, I would click the plus. You'll see it'll automatically drop down to the bottom here. This will be the exact placement on the search form. So if I don't want this to be my last field on the search form, I can simply click and drag it up. If I want it like say right below the address, I'll just drop it there and hit save changes. We'll see this reload, and where are my eyes? There we go. Right below address, we have age since I added that. All right. Also here on this page, we will see previous searches. So this section here is going to be auto-save searches. Anytime that you have created a search, it'll save a copy of your criteria here so that if you accidentally X out of your browser page, you will still retain a version of that search that you can quickly reload. So you don't ever have to worry about accidentally Xing out and losing a search if you forget to save it. As you'll see, you can scroll down and it goes down really, really far. It essentially has very close to unlimited amounts of previous searches saved. So again, it's pretty foolproof as far as accidentally closing a search. Manual searches here are searches that you create and send as an email or anything like that just once. And then an auto prospecting search are searches that have recurring results that you might send to like a client, for instance. You can find those there by clicking on that. All right. So as I had said earlier, the map search is actually built into ConnectMLS into the general search. So if I want to create a map search and plug these criterias into a more finite area within Berkeley, what I can do is either click on map results here or map, which is off right now. I can just click that to turn it on. Either one of those does the same thing. And we will see all of our results from our criteria plotted onto a map. And you'll see these little dots with the price tag. Those are representative of individual listings that match my search. I can click on one of them and you'll see a little preview of the listing. I can click on that again and it'll open up a agent report for that listing. These little clusters here that say like 3 and 4 and 2, those are just listings that are really close to each other. So if I zoom in, you'll see them break down into individual price tags and plotted on the map there. All right, great. So let's say I want to get more specific area results here for my search. What I can do is draw a shape. And I can do that by clicking on draw, and I have three options. The first one here is a radius tool. So there's two ways for me to use this radius tool. I can either enter in an exact mileage, like for instance 1, and it'll create here a 1 mile radius from wherever the current center of the map is. I'll just hit apply, and you will see now it changes a little bit. This means that the shape has been um, created, and then apply once more, and then it will round down and have only things that are currently within this shape appear as my results. You'll see my results drop down to 13. So if I want to actually edit the slot, like where this is positioned on the map, I can easily do that by clicking back on draw. You'll see the little X and the blue circle there reappear. That means that it is editable. So when you see that, that means you can change your shape. I can simply click and drag and um, replace that. I can click and drag on this little blue dot to change the size of it. You'll see the little mile counter there, so you'll always know how big the radius is. And when I'm done, I'll just hit apply, and it will re-render that shape, and you'll see the results within that shape populate. All right, and then so I'll just get rid of that and hit apply. And the other way to do it is I can just simply click on the circle and click down on a point and drag out, and it'll create a radius. And then when I release my mouse, it finalizes that radius, or it creates that radius, and then hitting apply will actually finalize it and render it down there. So this same principle applies to the other shapes. So for instance, we have a rectangle shape where you can click and drag and drop, and it'll create the rectangle of your dreams. You can click on the circle, hold that down, and move it to make the shape a little different. You can click anywhere in the middle here to move the whole thing, and then apply to render the shape and have only the results within that apply to your search. All right, and then finally we have our custom shape, the polygon. So when I click on that, I will simply just click down, and it will create a little point, and I'll click down, and it'll make another point, and another, and another, and another, and I can make like a really weird shape. It can be as crazy as you would like. And when you're done making your shape, you can simply click on the little check mark there to finish it, and it will create your shape. All right, so this looks a little different. We have our little scissors in between there. So the way to change this shape, if we want to edit it, we have two options. We can click on the points and move the points itself, or we can click on the scissors between the points, and it'll create a brand new point between those 2 points. So you can add it there, and then you can always drag the shape around and drop and um, remove your shape wherever you would like. Then I'll just hit apply, and my shape is rendered, and only the things that are within this shape are applicable to my search. And then if I want to get rid of it, I'll just hit that draw again, then click on the little X. Okay, great. So I have my results that I would like. So I can get my results in a spreadsheet by clicking on Show List, or if I was back in the criteria back here, I would just hit View Results. Both will do the same thing, and it will bring up a spreadsheet of our results. Actually, I'll show you real quick. If we're in our map search and we do Show List, it'll actually have on one side of the page the map, and on the other the spreadsheet. This is unique to ConnectMLS. You won't find this on Paragon. It's a really helpful tool, and you can always change the dynamics of this page. So if you just want the map search, you can click on the inwards arrow, And then if I hit show list and I just want the spreadsheet, I can click on the outwards arrow and it will expand this and make this the whole page feasibly. All right, so I have my spreadsheet of results here, and I can do quite a few things with these results. So I can click on any of the results and it'll bring us an agent report for that result. Within this report, you'll see at the top this little client friendly button. If I click on that, it'll restrict the report so that it has only fields that will show to your client when you send it to them. They will never be able to receive something like, for instance, with confidential remarks, or and there's a few other agent only fields. So client friendly view here will show you exactly what your client will be seeing when they see a report for one of these listings. I can change the format of my spreadsheet with any of the view options up here. I can click and get some thumbnails. I can click right next door to get bigger thumbnails. And then the last one here really is just pulling up the agent reports themselves. All right, and then so I can email my listings. I can, if I don't have any of them selected, hitting email will email them all, or I can just select a few. Say I want like 4, for instance. It'll show you how many you have selected, and I'll just hit on the email, and it will open up a form where you can create an email for somebody. It's pretty self-explanatory, this email form. And then next to that, you have print or save as PDF. Next to that, you have save listings in a favorite folder. That will send them to this little section here, this star, which is essentially saving individual listings without saving the search. So if that's the way that you want to go, you can just click on favorites here to parse them off over here. You can download them as a spreadsheet by clicking on this. Something else that's helpful too is if you want to get a CMA, a comparative market analysis report, you can export these listings very quickly to Cloud CMA by clicking on this little icon here. Cloud CMA is a really quick, awesome CMA creation tool that you have access to for free as a Bridge MLS member. And then also something that you have here that's pretty cool is driving directions. So if you click on that, it'll generate driving directions from whichever listings that you have selected, and give you sort of a like MapQuest type of driving set of instructions there for you. All right, so I want to save my listing here. As I said earlier, there are a couple of ways for me to do that. I can do a manual search, or I can do an automatic prospecting search. So I'll hit save search here with this little floppy disk. You can also do that. If I hit search, it'll take us back to our criteria. You'll see save search also on your criteria page here. So I'll hit save search, and this is what comes up. So we can add a client, as you can see here. If you already have a client added, you have a profile created for them, you can select client, or add a new client if you don't have a profile selected for them. The search name right below here, please note that the client will be able to see the search name. So if that factors into what you name it, please be aware. So manual search is sending the search out as a one-time search that will not recur. They'll only get the results that you send them this one time. And then automatic search, if I select that, will be a recurring search where over a set period of time, they will get refreshed results for anything new that matches the criteria that you selected. So as you can see here, the first thing that comes up is a set range for how often these results send to your client. So if you want to have everything come once every day, you can select the time of day and you'll just hit one day. You can even select the day of the week if you want to do it once a week. And then you have real time, which real time means that it's as the listings appear. in real time. They'll get an individual notification for each new listing that matches their search. So you can select whichever ones you'd want there. You can change the day or the week count with this slider right here. All right. And then so as you can see down here, you can select when it expires. You can always re-up if it does expire and you want to go longer, but maximum it goes 180 days. And then you can also select if you want to BCC yourself or delete the search when it expires. All right, and then so once your client gets set up with a search there, they will receive an initial email that will have them create a login. So they'll have a username that will be the email that you've sent to, and then they'll create a password. Once they've done that, they will have access to a client portal where they can go in at their own pace at any time, go and see the listings that you've associated with them through the search, and they can comment on them. They can, favorite them. They can say, I dislike this. They can put them into a maybe pile. They can interact with them much like they would post on social media. And you will get notifications for how they interact, and you can always go into their portal and see that. So I'll show you right now a client portal and what that looks like. You can access that with the My Clients little widget up here. So click on that icon and it'll take us over here. I've got an example client already set up, but if you need to set up a brand new client, you can just click on Add Client next to My Clients here. But I'll click on My Client and this is their page. Excuse me. This is their page that's representative of their interactions and what's going on with them. You'll see a bank of any searches that you've created for them that you can edit or delete with these two icons. You can add a new search directly from here. You can view the searches also in this little bar, but primarily what you will probably mostly be using this for is to see their activity, which will be down here. And you can also click on View Portal directly to see a real-time representation of their client portal. This will be exactly what it looks like. If they've interacted with it, they've put something in favorites or undecided, you can sort through those folders here. And then you'll see there's a section for commenting where they can comment and you can actually comment back if you would like. All right. And so the last thing that I'm going to show you today is actually adding a listing onto the MLS. Okay, so if I want to create a listing, I'll just go over here to the Listings tab, and I will choose Add New Listing. You'll see down here, there's a few different edit types. You can edit the status, details, edit the listing agent themselves. These are really just sort of streamlined ways once you have a created listing to edit specific parts of them, but you can always manage all of it in this View/Manage My Listings and Transactions tab. That is where even the photos and virtual tour you'll be able to manage here. This will be an overview of any listings or even drafts that you have created. You can edit them always right there. But for a brand new listing, we'll click on Add New Listing. All right, and then so I have a listing that's already created. So I'll just hit the edit here and show you what it looks like so that, this goes a little quicker here, but you'll see also here, Add New Listing is the option that you'll want beneath that. So I'll just go back here real quick and I'll hit edit on my draft listing there. And so this is what a listing will look like when you start to create it. You'll have the basic information up here, which is really just the address, APN number, that sort of a thing. And then below here in the general section, you'll have all these different fields, and you'll see that some of them do have a little red asterisk next to them. So the red asterisk means that this is a required field in order to publish the listing. So you can save as a draft at any time. You can have as much or as little of this filled out. but in order to actually publish, you need every single asterisk field to be filled in. So that's something to be aware of. You have different sections here. If you have an ADU, you can designate that and enter the fields in with the additional dwelling unit section here. We have remarks for like your public and confidential remarks, features for features of the property. We'll get into that a little bit in a sec. We have media if you want to add like a link to like a website or anything like that, you can do it in the media section. And then documents, if you want to attach a document like disclosures or something like that, you can do that in the documents section. All right, so something unique to ConnectMLS is the smart photo upload. If I click on that right there, that smart photo upload tab, so this is where I can actually upload photos, and ConnectMLS has AI that will read the photos for their features, and it'll both caption the photos and add the features that it detects into the feature section, so that can like save you a ton of time. So for instance, like you have like beam ceilings or like wood panel floors, and it detects that, it'll say, hey, I've detected this. Do you want this added into your features? You can simply select yes, and it will save you a ton of time. I've already added photos by just dragging and dropping them here. These are example captions that it has created for my photos. I'll just hit cancel so we can go back here. And actually here in my feature section, which I'll go to right now, these are some of the features that it added in for me. But again, you can always decline the features if you don't want it to do that for you, or you could just not use the photo upload, the smart photo upload. If you just go to media, you can upload photos right there in media. All right. And then so Um, lastly, here you'll see when we're adding a listing, as we go through the different sections, it says saving draft listing. So every time you go between sections, it'll save your progress for you. So you don't really need to worry about losing your progress here, but you can always click save as draft right there, and um, it will save it for you at any point as a draft. And you can manage drafts and load them. If you go back into the add new listing, you'll see an option for that like I did, or you can go to view and manage my listings and transactions, and your draft listing will be there waiting as well. All right, so that is it for today's Connect MLS course. This is, again, just meant to be a brief overview of some of the essential functions of Connect MLS. You can click on this little help tab right here, and it will have a whole host of both videos and text tutorials that you can access that will um, uh, cover all sorts of topics in depth. And you can always call our support line. We're open 9 to 5 during weekdays, and you can call us and we can always help you through any function that you're having a hard time with. All right, well, thank you so much.